of these contests was the guy that made the other guy cry. Okay, so you learn how to have a stiff, uh, skin. You learn how to tell jokes back. But now we have a culture, they can't take it, Jermaine Botzio. They can't take any jokes. They can't take any roasting. They can't take anyone making any funnies about anything. It has to be all plain vanilla, all tapped down. Now the only group that you can make jokes about are white people. They are fair game all the time. Gays are out, blacks are out, women are out, transgenders are out, homosexuals are out, except the only people you can tell jokes about are white people.
That's it. That is it. They have their special class. And if you go after the special class, you speak about their special class, they try to get rid of you. That's exactly what's going on. And ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the folks there on YouTube. You guys are back as well. Woo! I'm telling you, you see why we got to work so hard, right? You see why, ladies and gentlemen, why we got to work so hard? Because of the censorship. The clip we play, ladies and gentlemen, is not a clip owned. And literally, the clip was less than a minute and a half. Distorted. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, they don't want us to play it. One of the main reasons why they don't want us to play those type of things is because it brings people back to reality. Right? Imagine if people woke up tomorrow and they thought about all this transgender and LGBTQ community. And what if they came to the conclusion that the people who are in these communities have some sort of psychological problem, right? That people have been taking advantage of real folks who have, this disorder, which is gender dysphoria disorder. Imagine if that came out, that, the medical industry, right? People in the media were taking advantage of folks who, ladies and gentlemen, have a mental disorder. That would be damaging, wouldn't it? That, they normalized a psychological disorder to make money, to create a new voting bloc, right? To create organizations, ladies and gentlemen, to divide men and women. Imagine. I think that would be pretty devastating if folks were to do that. So I want folks to know that. Last words on this here before we move on.
Yeah, it is a sinister plot to actually normalize a dysfunction like that. To make people think if they have this dysphoria that somehow that's normal. No, it's not normal what they're doing, and it is a sinister plot. And they need to really stop this because it's going to wreak havoc on our culture as Americans. The Chinese, they aren't going down this road here. All of our enemies, the Russians, they are not going down this road. You can look at the recruiting advertisement for being in the CIA or the military, and our recruiting is so woke. It shows weakness. You look at the recruiting of the Chinese and the Russians, they're talking about real men doing tough jobs. Our advertisement talks about these little weak, woke people having feelings about their mother and daddy and doing a good job and wondering how it will feel.
Yep.
No, we cannot go down this road of normalizing these dysfunctions. And that's what these people, the woken nuts, want. They want to normalize these psychological disorders.
Absolutely. And anytime you're speaking the truth about something, they say that somehow you're what is it? You're being mean towards them somehow, right? Somehow you're being what is it when you're against LGBTQ folk? You're a bigot or some sort. You get what I'm saying? That is a tactic of folks who are weak and pathetic. People who are weak and pathetic do that. And Dave Chappelle brought up something else. He said when the LGBTQ want to bully you and try to win an argument, they make up fake words.
Yeah.
Right? They make up words that you never heard the word before. But they make it up to try to get you to comply with their nonsense, right? You got to be transcompetent. When I heard transcompetent, right? Transcompetent is another word, right? It's a made-up word. But they use these things to try to trick you into believing their nonsense. And that's exactly what they're good at. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two folks here. First shout out, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two guys here. First one goes out to my guy, Stephen Marlowe. Shout out to him. I gotta send you another. I got your number anyway. I'm gonna send you a note. Shout out, and Stephen Marlowe says here, for a job well done and needed, you guys are doing the work that must come from the black community and black acknowledgement. Shout out to Stephen Marlowe. And shout out to my guy, Patrick Ledford. Patrick Ledford, get in contact with me, brother. Shout out to Patrick Ledford. Patrick Ledford, get in contact with us. Jermaine.botsio@gmail.com. All right? Jermaine.botsio@gmail.com. Get in contact with us. Hit us up on the page. Get in contact with me. I'm expecting you, Patrick. Moving forward, I want to go ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Stephen Marlowe, I'm going to hit you up on the Sally. Shout out to Stephen Marlowe. I want to go ahead and speak about Trump. Trump, a very good man. I want folks to understand that. Very good man, even though I roasted him a little bit last week. What was it, last week or this week? I think it might have been earlier this week. I did roast him a little bit, but gosh darn it, it was well needed. Him speaking like that about the vaccine, him speaking like that. Gosh darn it, ladies and gentlemen, my name wouldn't be Jermaine BOTSIO if I hadn't ran my mouth about it. You understand? Shoot, I have to get rid of my name if I hadn't done that. But it was well deserved. Besides that, he still has very good points on a lot of issues, right? And I've said that. On that one issue, though, right? Stone Cold Stunner on him, right? Stone Cold Stunner on him on that one. I understand. But the rest of them, gosh darn it, ladies and gentlemen, smoking. Donald Trump right now, he's being hit by the woke mob, right? He calls them wokenuts. Mr. Allen calls them wokenuts. Actually, you should coin that. Anybody hear wokenuts anywhere, that came from Mr. Allen. You heard it here first. Wokenuts. Donald Trump suggests that Haitians in an interview probably have, quote unquote, AIDS. All right. He speaks about the border being, consumed by Haitians and all the problems that exist there. And liberals, ladies and gentlemen, they're upset and mad. They're calling him a bigot because he said that the Haitians, a lot of them are coming. They're coming from areas that have high rates of AIDS. Man, telling the truth can get you killed. Here we go.
hundreds of thousands of people flowing in from Haiti. Haiti has a tremendous AIDS problem. AIDS is a step beyond. AIDS is a real bad problem. So hundreds of thousands of people are coming into our country. And if you look at the stats, if you look at the numbers, if you look at, just take a look at what's happening in Haiti, a tremendous problem with AIDS. Many of those people will probably have AIDS, and they're coming into our country, and we don't do anything about it. We let everybody come in. Sean, it's like a death wish.
There you go. So him speaking right there, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about the Haitians coming forth, let me tell you, making sure that our country is filled with more diseases. What do you think here, Mr. Allen?
You know, Trump has this habit of speaking the truth. And this habit, it drives people crazy, particularly what we call the woken nuts. It drives them absolutely crazy. I was looking at some statistics about AIDS earlier today, and Haiti is like number 24 down the list of, countries with AIDS. America is way, way down the list in the 130 something. So we have a country that is riddled with AIDS coming to a country that doesn't have a lot of AIDS, okay? We do have our cases, and that's really, really harmful. But we are allowing illegal aliens to come to our country, and they are contaminated with AIDS. But the other issue is not only do they have AIDS, they have all kinds of diseases, okay? Whooping cough, measles, you name it. These illegal immigrants coming across our border, not only from Haiti, but from other countries, African countries, the Afghans. We're talking about people coming from countries that don't have a very, very good health system or no health system at all. There's no health screening. There's no screening at the border. They have all type of diseases, and they're coming to our country. And we already have had cases in our country, in California, I think New York, and other parts of the country, whooping cough, measles, all type of diseases. And so Trump, he is a person that habitually tells the truth, and it does drive people crazy. And so we need to talk about this, because not only are they invading our country, they're bringing diseases to our country that have literally been eradicated in America, and they're resurfacing now because of our open border policy by this crazy man named Biden.
Absolutely. Biden is more than a crazy man. Gosh darn it, that guy is a criminal.
Yes.
He is. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get around Biden. Biden being the biggest criminal here in America, right? American gangster Joe Biden. Because him and his family are stealing money from here to Pakistan. Mm-hmm. That's what they're about. The Biden crime family. Even his son, Hunter, said they're a crime family. Political crime family. You can't get around it. Him selling art, selling his father's influence, him selling himself for cocaine. Gosh darn it, ladies and gentlemen, it's a selling family. Let me tell you. Selling family. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, is being attacked because he's telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Right? Telling the truth nowadays, you can see, get your ban off all sorts of social media. People like me and Anthony Allen, we have a hard time staying up here. As you guys can see, right, they try to shut us down because we play videos that are, quote unquote, how can I say, dangerous to people who are offended by the truth.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't get around it. We play those type of videos. We like talking about real stuff, right? Not the, who's black and who's white and all this other nonsense. We like speaking about the real deal. Donald Trump liked to speak about the real deal, right? He don't like playing around. And speaking about the real deal hurts folks' feelings. Remember, I told you America ran by mama now. Once it's ran by mama, everybody insecure. Everybody got to watch each other's words. Everybody got to watch each other's feelings. Yeah. And when you live in a world like that, you can never get nothing done. You go ahead and ask guys that are out there if they like hanging out with guys or they like hanging out with women. They'll tell you most guys like to hang out with other guys for fun, right? Because they don't have to watch their word. They can joke around without hearing somebody say, hey, that's sexist. Hey, that's mean, right? That's what, when you're hanging out with women, you got to watch what you say, right? Because it might be interpreted as nasty towards them. It might be interpreted as mean, right? Yeah, shoot, that's mean. I can't believe you said that. That's asshole-ish, right? I know. Go ahead and ask other women. Even the new age women right now. Women don't like hanging out with other women. They like hanging out with guys. Because guys aren't nitpicking on your language, right? You say a dirty joke around a guy, he might be sniffing it, right? You say a dirty joke around women, guys they picking up the phone calling 911, trying to get you locked up. Women know what I'm talking about. They know women are catty, right? They backstab and talk behind your back. They know this. That's why they say, you know what? I don't like hanging out with other women. You don't ever hear guys, Mr. Allen, have you ever heard a guy saying, you know what, I don't like hanging out with other guys? Have you heard that?
Oh, no. No way.
Never. But you'll always hear women say, you know what, I just hang out with other guys. I don't like women, right? They do that. You see a whole bunch of women doing this. Guy friends through the yin yang, they got one or two close girlfriends and that's it. Because they understand what the nature is, but they don't want to be honest about it. And we have to be. So, mama, running the United States along with Sleepy Joe. Mama attacking the truth because it hurts mama's feelings. Moving forward, Biden right now, ladies and gentlemen, in the news, he blocked Trump from withholding January 6th documents. I want to go ahead and run this. When they come back, I want to speak about it. Here we go.
This morning, a new showdown over the investigation into the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. President Biden rejecting former President Trump's request to keep documents from that day out of the hands of the House Select Committee.
The president's dedicated to ensuring that something like that could never happen again, which is why the administration is cooperating with ongoing investigations.
Those records trace Trump and his administration's actions and include call logs and emails sent that day. Trump pushing back, trying to assert executive privilege, but that power belongs to the sitting president. In a statement, Trump said, this committee's fake investigation is not about January 6th any more than the Russia hoax was about Russia. Instead, this is about using the power of the government to silence Trump. Political experts say this will likely end up in court. Meanwhile, Trump presses on. Later today, he'll be in Iowa, a key caucus state for presidential hopefuls, potentially testing the waters for a 2024 run. This as a new poll shows Trump's favorability ratings in Iowa are higher than when he was president. Running again is something he's hinted at for months.
Most corrupt election in the history of our country, most corrupt election in the history of most countries, to be followed by an even more glorious victory in November of 2024.
Also Friday, a House committee report says his luxury D.C. hotel lost some $70 million while Trump was in office, despite getting millions from foreign governments. Now, Trump's claims about election fraud have been proven not true. The Trump Organization has issued a statement to NBC News with regard to the accusations against his hotel, saying that they are misleading and false. Kristen and Peter.
Megan Fitzgerald with the very latest. Megan, thank you.
Man.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube.
So there we go. There we go. They're coming after Trump right now. This January, they keep saying the insurrection, riot. They're very masterful when they're pushing this narrative because it was neither of those things. What do you think about this here? Is this going to be a game changer in your opinion?
Yeah, no, not in the sense that the Democrats would like for it to be a game changer. There's a philosophy that says what goes around comes around. And, Biden, he will have his day because once Trump becomes president again, they're going to open up a can of worms on the Biden crime family.
Yep.
Biden will not be able to exert executive privileges, and Trump will open up a can of whoop butt on these Bidens. That's what has to happen. These Democrats, they know 100%, they know full well that Trump is going to run in 2024. And that's why now they are doing everything they can to dirty Trump, to make him seem like he is some sort of, resurrectionist, make him seem like he's going to do something crazy. They have been doing this for all the 4 years he was in office, and they're doing it now. This is just a continuation of more of the same. And it's not going to work. Trump is a winner. He will not back down. I believe that he will run because he says things like the glorious victory in 2024.
Yep.
He says things like we are going to have a big win in 2024. He uses we a lot whenever he talks about the election. So I believe he's in. He just has to bide his time correctly. He's a very, very smart man. And I believe that we will take our country back. It will be hard fought, but there is no way that Biden or any Democrat will be able to beat Trump in 2024 unless they find more ways to cheat.
Yep. Because as bad as Biden's doing, ain't nobody and their mama gonna vote for him. They're not. So they have to cheat. They have to blow up the country. Something big got to happen. You get what I'm saying? For them to stay in there. Something huge got to happen. And let me tell you something. We shall know what they do when they do it. I can tell you that. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to go ahead and speak lastly about Trump and his rally that he had in Iowa. Let me tell you something. That was fire. Let me tell you, fire. He spoke about the liberals. He spoke about the Biden administration. He's saying that they have brought our country, our nation, to the brink of ruins. And let me tell you something. He ain't lying. Look at what's going on right now with the debt, right? Look at the immigration problem we're having, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the what is it called? The diplomacy issues we're having. You seen what happened in Afghanistan, right? They're talking mess about North Korea right now in the news. On and on and on and on. Inflation through the roof. Biden inflation through the roof, right? Low job numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID mandate. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, everything is hitting the fan. Everything. Take a look.
Hello, Iowa, and congratulations to the Iowa Hawkeyes. That was a big win today. I'm thrilled to be back. That That was a big win. But I'm thrilled to be back, especially on such great news as that. That was a big one. You beat a great school, a great team, a great tradition, really an amazing job. And it all started right here, and we're going to keep it here, number one, right? We're going to keep it here. The fairgrounds, so they broke a record tonight. In the history of the fairgrounds, I don't know how old it is, but in the history of the fairgrounds, this is the most people they've had, so thank you very much. And all of you are hardworking American patriots, that we know, and we love you all. As we gather tonight, millions of Americans are realizing that Joe Biden and the radical left have brought our nation to the brink of ruin. There's never been anything like what has happened. After just 9 months under Biden, violent criminals and bloodthirsty gangs are taking over our streets. Illegal aliens and deadly drug cartels are taking over our borders. Inflation is taking over our economy. China's taking over our jobs. The Taliban has taken over Afghanistan. Lunatic leftists are taking over our schools, and radical socialists are taking over our country, and we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. And you can't say I didn't warn you, but I also can't say you didn't get out, because you got out and voted like no sitting president has ever received votes before.
There you go. Trump on fire. On fire. He says that he warned us. He warned us that, hey, Biden administration, you see what they're talking about here? And he wasn't playing around. The people that he told, that he warned, like me and you, we got off our keister and we went to go vote. That's what we did. And let me tell you something, Anthony Allen, in 2024, that's exactly what we will do when the man runs. What do you think?
Donald Trump is a phenomenon. I call him that all the time. He is a great orator. They tried to lampoon Donald Trump. It hasn't worked. He can step to a microphone and compose himself and speak from the hip, as they say. He's great at doing this impromptu. The other thing about Donald Trump is that he uses words very, very effectively. Mm-hmm. He calls things like they are. The lunatic left. What better word do you have for that? Lunatics, okay? He's very, very good at that. He's also very good at telling the truth. That's why they hate him so much, because he pulled the cover back off of the swamp and he said, look at this swamp. And they hate him for that. Everything that Joe Biden touches will turn to lead and sink to the bottom of the abyss. He has no successes in his administration at all. The economy, foreign policy, Afghanistan, COVID-19, the border, trade, you name it, Biden has touched it. It has turned the lead, fallen to the bottom of the abyss, never to rise again. And he has the lead touch, the opposite of the golden touch. Yep. Biden has. And Trump, he speaks in inclusive language about him running. He's always using "we will win," "we will have a glorious victory." That "we" pronoun means to me that he is running. And we need to be prepared for Trump running, because guess what? These Democrats, they will cheat again.
They'll do whatever
Joe
they can.
Biden did not win 2020. He lost 2020 by a lot, as Trump says, by a landslide. And Trump is a winner. He will come back, and we have to be prepared, because they will cheat again. They will try to cheat Trump out of the election again. But we have to keep fighting, JERMAIN BOTSIO. Keep fighting and keep voting.
Absolutely. We got to keep fighting and keep voting, you know, I have a very, very, very strong suspicion that he will run. I don't see any other thing for him to do. He's out there, looks like, in my eyes, campaigning. It sounds like campaigning, you know, and he's doing a very fine job as well. Trump knows something that a lot of liberals don't know, which is their time is coming. I believe this time here showed a lot of people what works and what doesn't work. You get what I'm saying? And as you guys can see, Trump's populism, right, interjecting conservative principles, it works. Versus the liberal lunatic left, which pushes ideology that is rooted in fantasy. It doesn't work. You can see it. It's on display. Their ideology is on display, ladies and gentlemen. Their thought process, the way they work, you get what I'm saying, is on display. So you can see how they do things. And you can see that it's not good. They don't do things with common sense. They don't do things with logic, right? They're into ideology, pushing women first, pushing gays first, pushing blacks first, pushing gosh darn peanuts and dogs and cats first. That's what they're into. They're not into anything that's real. And that's why they hate Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is into real things. He's a pragmatic guy, okay? He's into things that are real world solutions, right? Where you don't have to have a rocket scientist to explain to you what's going on. A lot of the things that we're seeing can easily be explained, easily be solved if we have people who care, right? Who ain't trying to make a buck. Let me tell you. And that's what Donald Trump was doing. Look at how many, departments he was slashing when he got in there. Mm-hmm. He was closing stuff right and left, ladies and gentlemen. Like a good man. Coming in and say, hey, we don't need all this spending here. Let's cut this. Let's cut that. Let's cut this. Let's cut that. Right? That's what real folks do. Just like I said, if I was to come in and solve the inner city problem, liberals would hate me because I don't need any money. You get what I'm saying? I'm coming in. Right? Taxpayers love me. Hey. Everybody keep your money. Yeah, you thought I was going to come with a program. No. Keep your money. We're going to do our job and lock folks up. That's it. That's what Donald Trump came in.
Yeah.
He didn't come in with new programs. He said, gosh darn it. We got existing ones that can work. How come ain't nobody working it? That's the issue we have here in America, and Donald Trump has put it to the forefront. He showed you that these people, with all their years of experience in politics, cannot even solve it. He came in 4 years. Just the first year they were scared because they were playing games and he had logic. He was just using common sense. How come this is not working? Well, you guys aren't doing. Why are you guys talking like this? Like, what's wrong with you guys? You know what I'm saying? He was in there doing this. Last words here, sir.
You're exactly right, Jermaine BOTSIO. It's common sense that he uses. The American people, we have common sense. We don't have to have things explained by rocket science. And if that happens, it's too complicated. And Trump came in as a businessman, and he started slashing, and he started requiring that people perform, requiring that people did their jobs. Trump gets about 5 to 6 hours of sleep, maybe even less than that. So his staff had to get accustomed to someone that's always awake, always doing their job. It drove them crazy until they realized that they had to perform when it came to Donald Trump. Now, we see that Biden, He may work 3 hours a day. His schedule is up on the White House website, and it's horrible. He doesn't do any work whatsoever. 3 hours here, 4 hours there, he's done. He's back being nursed, okay, by Jill. So we have a man, Donald Trump, who has a very, very good work ethic as a businessman, and he doesn't need their money. He's not trying to parlay being president into becoming a millionaire or a billionaire. He doesn't need anyone's money. So he wants to make America great. He will make America great. He did make America great, and he's coming back again to make America greater in 2024.
Absolutely. And hopefully he run without that guy, what is it called? What's his name? Mike Pence.
Oh, don't, oh my gosh.
Hopefully he'll look past Mike Pence.
Oh yeah.
And he shall win. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to, I believe I already did, Tracy Chandler. I believe I gave you a shout out. You were one of the first ones I gave a shout out on Cash App, but I'm going to give you another shout out here, sweetheart. Shout out to the beautiful Tracy Chandler. All right. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Hold on. Let me give you one of these too here. So that's what it comes down to. I believe Trump, his new slogan should be, I told you so, 2024. What do you think about that, Mr. Allen? I told you so, 2024. You get
That
what
would
I'm
be a
saying
great,
on the bottom?
yeah.
Put America's back. I told you so, 2024.
That would be a
What do you
great
think
flag.
about that?
Yeah, that would be a great slogan, a great flag to be flying. In this area, we have what we call Trump trains, and they're just pickup trucks that have flags flying off the back of them. That would be a great flag to fly off of someone's truck. I told you so.
I told you so. I'm telling you, I told you so 2024. You know, and then he get rid of the that elephant, throw on the lion, the MAGA lion on there. You get what I'm saying? Throw on the MAGA lion, get rid of that gosh darn the elephant, the weakest thing around. Get rid of that thing. Get rid of it. We don't even want to be associated with them Republicans. Get rid of it. Throw on the MAGA lion, and go forth. I can tell you, a lot of folks would be very happy with that. Give us a new, fresh appeal. You know what I'm saying? One thing I do know, the Democrats and the Republicans will do whatever they can to try to not get him in. Mitch McConnell, I'm telling you, they hate him with a passion. They absolutely do. So I know they'll try their hardest to make sure that Trump don't get in. But let me tell you something. If he runs, and I know he's going to run, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be fire. Because he ain't going to be playing around. The gloves are going to be off. And if I was Trump, I'll be roasting every gosh darn candidate I see. I'll be roasting them in my sleep, on the toilet. I'll be reading books and roasting them. I mean, every time I hop on the air, every time I look at a camera, I'm roasting. And Trump, he got that ability to roast. He could roast you lightly. You get what I'm saying? Anthony Allen?
Mm-hmm.
Trump can roast you in a full roast. You get what I'm saying? He can give you a grandpa roast. His grandpa roasts are very nice. He can give you a daddy roast. You get what I'm saying? He can roast you like a thug on the street. Whichever you do, Mr. President, I'm for you. Roast them. Anthony Allen, buddy, pal, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here. Everybody for sharing. Everybody who, gosh darn, had to jump through the hoops like we did. Thank you. Thank you for jumping with us. I can tell you that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Allen, any last words for our beautiful crowd here, sir?
Just stay together. Jermaine BOTSIO, this show is very, very refreshing to a lot of people. Once they come on it, and they hear you and they hear me, they kind of realize that we are Americans, that we need to stay together, that the Democrats, the Democrats and the liberals, they definitely want to always divide us along color and gender and all kinds of crazy psychological things. But we as a people are the American people. We are not racist. We are not any of the
Nope.
things that the liberals say about us. We're just American people that love our country and we want to keep our country. And the Democrats hate this country. We need to stay together. White people, black people, don't fall for it. Stay together. Black people that are trying to divide us, get rid of those people. White people that are trying to divide us, get rid of those people and have fellowship with good people, good Americans, me and Jermaine BOTSIO and others. But don't fall for this idea that somehow because we're black and because you're white, you can't talk about black issues and we can't talk about white issues. We are going to talk about American issues as one country.
Absolutely. As one country. That's how the liberals maintain the superiority over the blacks. Because what they'll do is they'll say, hey, those white people who are giving you good ideas, they're not supposed to be doing that. You take our ideas, or that black fool that's robbing somebody, you take his idea. Mm-hmm. Okay? You don't take that white man's idea who's telling you to stop it. That's the way they are. So thank you so much, Mr. Allen, for coming on in here.
You're quite welcome.
I want to thank everybody else as well. We really do appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. I'll definitely be on tomorrow, same time as usual. Shout out to Kelly Land. Yeah, we should try to send that slogan to Trump. I have a couple contacts I'll hit up. I told you so 2024. America's back, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, Biden can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? He can even put a buck finding underneath there too. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful slogan. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming on in here, hanging out with us. And I shall be with you tomorrow, same time as usual, giving you guys a good word. And that's all she wrote. You guys take care. Have a good night. And I'll catch you guys here later for another edition of Conservative Nation.